What's up guys, it's Timo here. I've been DJing for the last 7 to 8 years, minus 2 years for the pandemic, and I'm here today to answer some of your questions. So basically how I started DJing was, it was purely by accident, right? Why I say it's purely by accident, because I used to be in a DJ CCA back in poly, and it wasn't something that I actually wanted to pursue, but opportunities came, you know, and then I decided like, okay, why not? Let's just try this out. It was quite fun. So one thing led to another. I started getting more and more gigs. I realized I was starting to get good, and I started playing in more and more places and bigger places, and that's where I am today. Number one, I think you need a basic music sense lah. You need like your basic beat matching, stuff like that. And I think, unpopular opinion, not everybody can be a DJ. It's just as how a tone deaf person can never sing, right? Somebody that doesn't have rhythm and doesn't understand beats can never be a DJ lah. But besides that, I think that's just a small part about being a DJ. I think to be a DJ, you need to be well liked, right? Nobody wants a DJ that is not well liked. Nobody wants to see a face there that they want to punch every night. You have to be vocal. You have to be able to speak to people. You have to be able to make friends, right? You have to be able to go around and know that hey, you know, this guy exists. This guy is actually somebody that I want around me, right? And it's not just all about music. A lot of people think it's just about music, about like alcohol, about partying, but I think it's more about being friendly, knowing people, and of course your basic foundation, which is your DJ skill as well. I think social media is very important, right? If you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you just take a look at what people are listening to, what people are tagging to their posts. I think that's a very obvious way to see what's the latest music trend, right? Besides that, I think it's a lot about being proactive. Like if you're going out, you hear music playing in a shop, you hear music playing in, for example, the Grab on the way to somewhere, right? You just Shazam that song if you don't know it yet, right? And just find out what it is. I think that is a very good indication of what people are listening to and keeping up with the trend. Okay, I think to keep listeners engaged, especially nowadays, right? Number one, you need to be able to bring them something that's familiar, something that they're familiar with, a kind of sound that they're familiar with, something that they've been listening to on and off on TikTok or something like that. Because now there's no clubs, right? So nobody's going out. They have to be able to be familiar with the songs, number one. Number two, I think you need to be fresh, right? If you watch my stream, One Ton Street Squad with the rest of the boys, like Harente, Knocking Farts, and Wesley Sonora Sage, shout out to you guys. Right, we always try to bring something fresh, right? We don't just play the music, right? We try to incorporate Southeast Asian flavors, right? In terms of music, not food, right? Southeast Asian flavors, and as well, we try to be a bit more interactive on screen, right? Be fresh and also be familiar with the audience. I think that's a good way to keep listeners engaged nowadays. Okay, I think the most rewarding part about being a DJ, right, is that you get paid to have fun, right? You have fun most of the time when you are working. I mean, if you're not having fun when you're working as a DJ, then there's a problem lah. That means you're in it for the fame or something like that. Then I think that's a very, very big problem. So you should have fun while you're working, right? As well as, for me personally, I think what's very rewarding is when people are really truly entertained by what I do. And at the end of the day, I know that people have had a good time. I think that is one of the most rewarding parts to me lah. It's not so much about like the free alcohol and the parties and all this. I think I've gotten over that stage. I think that was definitely something that I enjoyed earlier on in the earlier years, but not anymore. I think I've gotten quite sick and tired of it. And I think as of now, it's really just entertaining people and knowing that people enjoy what I put out there. I think that is rewarding to me. Yep. Shout out to Ministry of DJs. Ministry of DJs! That's your shout out right there. Alright, if you want to pick up like your DJing, your turntablism, right, your production, right, I think this is a good place to do it. Why not start somewhere? I mean, you never know, you never try, you never know. It's a good place to start something new, and hope to see you guys here. Yep.